1 in 5 engines won't reach 100,000 miles. Some die before 40,000, yet automakers still call them reliable. They're financial traps, dressed in chrome and backed by lies. Today, we expose 21 worst engines that fail way too soon. If you value your wallet or your safety, don't skip a second. And the heartbreak? A legendary engine that had grenades before its first major service. Starting at number 21 is the Land Rover 3.0-liter SV6. Shocking to see it, but it made the list. This one's tucked under the hood of a Range Rover. Yes, the Range. The 3.0-liter SV6 whispers luxury, then quietly plans its own destruction. 2015 model owners expected adventure, yet they got engine failure warnings and dealership shrugs. And what makes it worse? The engine gives no low oil warning. So while oil quietly disappears, your engine's busy chewing itself to death. That's not just poor design. It's a $13,000 gamble wrapped in a luxury badge. These issues have been acknowledged in internal Land Rover service bulletins. Yet many owners have found themselves without support when problems arise outside the standard warranty period. As a result, the 3.0-liter SV6 engine has earned a reputation for being unreliable and costly to maintain. You just met the quiet assassin. Now meet its twin, the one that blows up with fireworks. Number 20 is the 3.0-liter TD V6. One day, it's roaring with power. The next, it's coughing, wheezing, and lighting up your dash like a Christmas tree. The 3.0-liter TD V6, hiding under the hood of the Land Rover Discovery 4, is infamous for crankshafts that snap without warning. It demands royal-level care to survive, yet they market it as a rugged, practical SUV. Wrong. You'll be stranded faster than you can say, engine rebuild. Add overheating issues and oil consumption, and you've got a disaster under the hood. Power loss is common, and that dreaded restricted performance message? It hits like a slap from your own dashboard. The culprits are worn piston rings, fuel system nightmares, and fragile cooling parts. Repairs are brutal, and reliability? Another big joke. Automakers gave the Land Rover Discovery luxury looks inside, but forgot this isn't a showroom piece. It's supposed to be an SUV, not a diva. Luxury isn't the only thing these two share. The next one? It's a turbocharged trap. Number 19 is the BMW N43 V8. Found in the 550i, X5, X6, 750i, and 650i. This twin turbocharged engine cranks out 408 horsepower with ease. It's fast, responsive, and thrilling until the problems start rolling in. Early models from 2008 to 2014 suffer from brutal reliability issues. This was the first generation of the N63 engine, infamous for guzzling oil, blowing turbos, and leaking valve stem seals. As mileage climbs, drivers report coolant leaks, carbon buildup, injector failures, and serious timing chain wear. These aren't rare complaints. They're common and costly. Repairs often fall between $5,000 and $10,000 a year, especially as the vehicle ages. A big reason? The turbochargers sit inside the engine's V, generating intense heat. That heat fries gaskets, thins out oil, and accelerates wear across the board. Surprisingly, it wasn't the worst part. The next diesel melts down in silence. At number 18, we have the Isuzu 3.0 V6 D-Max. It may sound tough, but the older 3.0-liter V6 D-Max engine, introduced before 2020, is a true disappointment. It showed up in older Renault and Saab models, built to impress, but quick to disappoint when pushed. Beneath the tough exterior is a diesel setup that doesn't take kindly to dirty fuel. Even a small amount of dirt or contamination can cause the injectors to misfire. Black smoke, power loss, and cold start issues quickly follow. Mechanics see it all the time, and owners pay the price. Beyond that, the wiring was poorly insulated, leading to constant electrical failures. Denso injectors were notorious for breaking down early and costing a fortune to replace. And don't forget the cooling system. It clogs easily, overheats fast, and often results in engine failure. Off-road is not what you'd expect from an Isuzu D-Max badge. These older models lacked rear diff locks, making tricky terrain even more of a gamble. Diesel drama continues. This one clogs up faster than your kitchen sink. Taking the 17th spot is the Subaru 2.0D. Subby built its reputation on reliability, but this one missed the memo. The 2.0D boxer diesel, used in the Forester, Outback, Legacy, and XV between 2008 and 2020, looked solid on paper. Great torque and good economy, but under the hood, trouble was brewing. Soot buildup becomes a ticking time bomb. It clogs the intake, chokes the engine, and suffocates performance. Injectors, too, are prone to failure, while the EGR valves constantly gunk up. And the diesel particulate filter? It's the biggest culprit of them all. If you don't drive long highway miles, it clogs fast and the repair bill stings. Many times, upwards of $1,000. Owners complain of warning lights, limp modes, and repair shops that can't fix the root problem. The promise of a diesel Subaru was exciting. It turns out to be expensive, unreliable, and more stressful than it's worth. Unless you love carbon cleaning and warning lights, walk away while you still can. Get ready. Up next is a German powerhouse with a hidden temper. But first, tap subscribe and hit like if your engine's ever emptied your wallet faster than your gas tank. Number 16 is the Audi 2.5-liter V6 TDI. Found in Audi and VW models built between 1997 and 2005, the 2.5-liter V6 TDI had solid performance, but the cylinder head design sabotaged its potential. Even if you follow the manual, trouble's waiting. If you delay, it bites harder. Its biggest flaw is camshafts that wear down way too fast. And it's not because you drove too hard, it's usually the fault of stretched out oil change intervals. To keep this engine alive, oil changes must be done earlier and more frequently than Audi ever suggested. Miss one, and you're looking at $2,000 to $3,000 in repairs. That's just to replace the camshaft. Sure, it ran smooth and pulled strong when new, but long-term reliability? Only for those with OCD-level maintenance habits. One delayed oil change, and this TDI turns into a ticking time bomb under the hood. Now, ready for a chain reaction that starts with a rattle? Next up at number 15 is the BMW N47 Diesel. At first, the BMW N47 Diesel feels like a dream. Punchy torque, smooth power, great fuel economy. Then you hear it, a faint rattle from the rear. That's not a loose bolt. It's your timing chain plotting its escape. Used in models like the 1 Series, 3 Series, and X1 from 2007 to 2012, the N47 is infamous for timing chain failures. The chain is buried at the back of the engine, so when it snaps, be prepared for catastrophic damage. We're talking full engine rebuilds that'll gut your wallet for over $5,000. And it doesn't stop there. Oil leaks, failed gaskets, and high labor costs add salt to the wound. BMW later improved the design, but early models? They're a gamble on wheels. If you're shopping used BMW diesels, avoid this one like your bank account depends on it, because it does. This chain rattles early, but the next engine screams from day one. At number 14 is the Mini N14 Prince engine. Many Mini Cooper S owners have encountered the same issue with the N14 engine, timing chain tensioner failure. When the chain starts to stretch, it doesn't whisper. It rattles loudly at idle and makes the engine run rough, turning your zippy ride into a shaky, unpredictable mess. Unfortunately, that's just the start. The early N14 was trouble straight out of the factory. Some owners noticed problems shortly after leaving the lot. Fuel pump failures were common. causing hesitation, stalling, and hard starts. Not exactly what you want from a fun car. Then there's the valve coking, buildup on the intake valves that chokes airflow and kills performance. Cleaning it out isn't easy and definitely not cheap. Add excessive oil consumption to the mix, and you've got an engine that constantly demands attention. Mini did smooth things out with the N18 version after 2010, but the early N14? Flashy, fun, and frustrating from start to finish. Small car, big problems, but some full-blown meltdown in a tuxedo. Number 13 is the Cadillac Northstar V8. This engine had star power, but it blew up on the main stage. The core issue? Head gaskets that can't handle the heat. Weak aluminum threads in the engine block strip out easily, and once they do, the head gasket blows. Virtually every production year of the Northstar engine has had issues with blown head gaskets. It doesn't take much, just a little heat or pressure, and boom, you're in deep. The block halves are also known to leak, and no amount of maintenance will save you. Once it starts, it only gets worse. That's why you don't see many of these on the road anymore. Cadillac gave this motor 5 years, then quietly scrapped it. Repairs aren't light either. Fixing a blown head gasket runs over $2,400. If the damage spreads, a full engine swap could cost $5,000 to $8,000. To make matters worse, the engine is positioned sideways. Even basic repairs like a starter or AC compressor feel like heart surgery. From luxury to leaking nightmares, now meet a diesel that crumbles with every mile. Taking the 12th spot is the Renault 2.2 DCI. This diesel from 1999 to 2009 was built to haul, but it doesn't hang around for the long haul. Give it some time, and cracks start to show. Imagine 40,000 miles in, and things already feel shaky. The head gasket is a weak link. Once it lets go, coolant leaks in, the engine overheats, and suddenly, you're staring down a $2,000 repair. Then there's the injectors, fussy and fragile. One bad tank of fuel, and they're toast. And yes, the replacements cost a small fortune. Renault claimed 18,000 miles between oil changes. Owners, especially those driving Nissan Almeras, with the same engine learned that it was wishful thinking. Most switched to 9,000 just to avoid early retirement. By the time dashboard lights start popping up, you're deep in damage control mode. Yet, it doesn't degrade slowly, it snowballs. If you want an engine that sticks around, check out 17 cars that simply never break down. Turbo trouble's not done yet. The next one is cool until it cooks itself alive. Number 11 is the Saab 2.0/2.3 Turbo. These turbocharged beasts, from 1990 to 2010, overheat like they're allergic to running cool. Poor insulation around the turbo cooks the front block. That heat warps crankshaft bearings, and once they shift, boom, engine failure. Then comes the oil sludge, thick, nasty, and deadly. Miss a single 3,000-mile oil change, and you're flirting with total engine failure. And don't skimp on coil packs. Aftermarket ones don't last. The ECU? It's also sensitive to heat. Without a spacer kit, it's living on borrowed time. Sure, these Saabs are quick and fun for a minute. However, before reaching 40,000 miles, many become scrapyard specials. If you must have one, keep your wallet on life support. You survived sludge? Good. Now try surviving oil thirst on a budget engine. In 10th spot is the Nissan QG 1.5 liter or 1.8 liter. Owners report burning over a liter every 1,000 kilometers. The culprit is weak piston rings. They wear out fast, letting oil slip into the combustion chamber. And with an oil sump under 3 liters, it doesn't take long for things to go dry. Run low on oil once, and you're risking engine seizure. No warning, no mercy. These engines were used from 1999 to 2006. Mostly in Nissan's smaller sedans. While they came with timing chains for low maintenance, the constant oil top-ups say otherwise. Nissan covered some under warranty, but after that, it's your headache. Repairs are expensive and often not worth the trouble. This isn't just a nuisance. It's a slow-motion engine failure disguised as reliable Japanese engineering. Now, let's shrink things down to German and jittery. Number 9 is the VW 1.2-liter TSI. Timing chain failure is the biggest killer. The chain stretches, the tensioner fails, and it all happens shockingly early, often just shy of 40,000 miles. When that goes, it's not a repair, it's a full-on engine rebuild. But the noise? That's your early warning siren. Oil drains back from the top end, leaving dry components clattering on cold starts. Some engines knock so loudly, people stare at stoplights. Even post-2015 models still rattle at startup. Volkswagen tried to fix it, but the ghost of bad engineering lingers. Sure, it's efficient, but efficiency doesn't matter when you're shelling out for an engine rebuild after 2 years. There are solid VW engines out there. Just don't bet on this one. That cold start knock is just a preview. The next engine belt fails in style. Number 8 is the Alfa Romeo 2.0 twin-spark 16V. Cold starts are its kryptonite. Push it too soon, and you risk snapping something vital. This Italian heartthrob demands a gentle warm-up every single time. It's oil-obsessed and brutally unforgiving. Miss a change or use the wrong grade, and the internals wear down fast. No mercy for lazy owners. Then there's the ticking time bomb. Its timing belt. You must replace it every 35,000 miles. Not later, not eventually. Wait too long, and it snaps, destroying the engine in seconds. Even die-hard Alfa fans know the truth. This engine is moody, delicate, and full of mechanical mood swings. It offers character, sure, but the kind that shows up late, complains a lot, and empties your wallet. Up next at number 7 is the GM 2.4-liter Quad 4. This so-called breakthrough was supposed to power Pontiac Grand Ams and Buick Skylarks into the future, yet it barely survives the present. Its biggest problem is the sketchy oil life monitor. Trust it, and you'll wait too long. By the time the warning shows up, internal wear has already begun. Smart owners learn to jump the gun, changing oil when the system shows 30% remaining. Wait any longer, and you risk sludge buildup, knocking, or even early engine failure. And let's be honest, it's not exactly a powerhouse. Despite all the engineering buzz, this 2.4-liter doesn't pack much punch. It was supposed to be GM's golden child. Instead, it's a short-lived experiment that leaves you stranded with an oil-stained bill and a bitter taste. Number 6 is the Chrysler 3.6-liter Pentastar V6. You'll find this one under the hood of the 2018 Jeep Wrangler, ready for off-road glory. But under pressure, it starts leaking. One of the most common issues? The oil filter housing and cooler. It's made of plastic. Heat turns it brittle, then it cracks, warps, and leaks oil or coolant like a sieve. Add in weak gaskets and seals, and you've got a recipe for slow, messy failure. Worse, the part is buried deep, so repairs aren't quick or cheap. Even when it's not leaking, this engine can tick, misfire, overheat, or suffer oil pressure drops. And if you miss even one service, things spiral fast. Wranglers demand more upkeep than your average ride. Transmission fluid, transfer case, differentials, everything needs regular love. Now, meet a V8 that loses parts mid-drive. In the 5th position is the GM 5.3-liter EcoTech V8. Under the hood of the 2019 Suburban, this V8 was designed to be a reliable workhorse. Instead, it turned into a lifter-snapping, wallet-draining disaster. The main issue is the DFM lifters. They fail far more often than the older AFM versions. When they go, they usually take the camshaft with them, leading to major internal damage. Oil starvation is often the root cause. Blocked passages cut off lubrication, causing friction and rapid wear. To make matters worse, the 8-speed transmission is clunky and unpredictable. It's known for hard shifts, poor response, and early failure. This engine once had a solid reputation for durability, but since 2019, reliability has taken a nosedive. Many owners experience serious issues before reaching 40,000 miles. What should have been a long-haul engine turns into an early retirement case. And now, we turbo things up with an engine that cooks itself from the inside. Number 4 is the Ford 1.5-liter and 2.0-liter EcoBoost. One of the worst problems with this engine is thin cylinder walls. They crack between cylinders, leading to coolant leaks, overheating, and blown head gaskets. You'll notice coolant vanishing, heat vanishing from the vents, and puddles forming under your car. Ford issued recalls for some models, but not all. Even with repairs, upgraded hoses and gaskets don't guarantee peace of mind. That's not all. These direct injection engines suffer heavy carbon buildup. Intake valves get clogged, leading to a rough idle, misfires, and power loss. Then there's the turbo. In higher output versions, it's known to fail from poor lubrication, drive it hard, or skip an oil change and the bearings wear out fast. Blue smoke, whining sounds, hesitation. This engine goes from sporty to scrapyard in record time. Turbocharged trouble is here, but next up is slow, sad, and utterly hopeless. Number 3 is the Chevrolet 2.2-liter EcoTech Inline 4. Sure, it was fuel efficient and lightweight, but the GM 2.2-liter EcoTech engine was undoubtedly flawed, with several key issues. Performance is non-existent, acceleration is sluggish, 0 to 60 feels like forever. Owners say even a flat road feels like a climb. But it's not just slow, it's fragile. Head gaskets fail early, leading to coolant leaks and overheating. Misfires show up like clockwork, and the check engine light is always glowing. Timing chain tensioners wear out fast, causing nasty rattling noises, especially when the engine's hot. It's not a comforting sound, it's a warning. Forget 100,000 miles. Some don't even survive 40,000 without begging for retirement. It's one of GM's most forgettable flops. But what if 3 cylinders could do even worse? In the second place is the Scod 1.2 HTP. From 2002 to 2007, this tiny engine promised practicality but delivered frustration in bulk. Acceleration is sluggish. Even reaching 87 miles per hour feels like a victory lap. And while the cabin quality and suspension were solid, the engine was the anchor, dragging everything down. It vibrates like a jackhammer at idle. The tensioner is weak, leading to premature valve damage. Common issues include throttle valve glitches and EGR troubles, which can trigger hesitation, poor fuel economy, and annoying check engine lights. Owners expected decent mileage or performance. This engine delivered neither. Even basic things like the AC compressor had a habit of failing early. Finally, at number 1 is the Fiat 1.3 Multijet Gen 1. From weak to worse, this diesel eats itself alive. Between 2003 and 2009, it powered a range of Fiats and frustrated owners everywhere. The biggest issue is oil consumption that borders on addiction. Fiat claimed it could go 30,000 miles between changes. Reality? Problems often showed up before 20,000. The timing chain is another weak link. It stretches and snaps without much warning, sometimes taking the whole engine down with it. Coolant leaks into the cylinders are common and dangerous. Compression drops, performance suffers, and repairs get pricey. Winter only makes things worse. Condensation forms in the intake manifold after shutdown, leading to misfires and starting issues. Add in faulty glow plugs, injector reading errors, and poor cold weather performance, and you've got a disaster wrapped in compact metal. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, here comes a rotary heartbreak. Mazda 1.3 Reysis. The rotary design sounds cool in theory, but it dies young and painfully. Apex seals wear out fast. Once they go, compression drops, power vanishes, and oil consumption skyrockets. And yes, it drinks oil and fuel like it's going out of style. Poor mileage is baked into the design. Then there's the smoke. Blue exhaust, overheating, rough starts. Check engine lights become permanent residents. Catalytic converters fail frequently. Acceleration turns sluggish. You smell rotten eggs and the engine wheezes like it's done with life. Ignition coils? Another weak point. They burn out every 30,000 miles, leading to stalls, misfires, and hard starts. Repair costs pile up fast. Replacing the engine often becomes the only option. You've just seen the engines that die before your road trip dreams even begin. But what if the story changed? In the next video, meet 17 Japanese car engines that last forever. They practically outlive their own cars.